Intermarriage. It's a word we hear discussed in many Jewish circles today because, well, it's on the rise. Whether it's Jewish parents worrying about their kids marrying someone of a different faith, or whether it's people my age seeing their friends, or they themselves choosing not to marry a fellow Jew. For some Jews, intermarriage is seen as damaging Jewish continuity. For others, it's simply a reality of living in a multicultural world. But the question I want to pose is, are there really any good arguments against intermarriage? I think arguments like, don't finish Hitler's job, or it would really upset your grandparents, are not valid arguments. These arguments appeal to guilt, not reason, and certainly don't provide any positive or inspiring grounds for remaining Jewish. I would also say that when people say, you're threatening the survival of the Jewish people, on a personal level that feels flawed because, in my own view, the Torah, which I believe in, says God will ensure the survival of the Jewish people. And even if our survival is under threat, that's not going to sway someone who is about to get married. He or she is thinking about their personal future. Why would Jewish continuity trump their personal happiness? Imagine, you meet the love of your life, you think you're soulmates. This person is much more put together than other Jews you have dated. Why shouldn't you get married? So the question of intermarriage really needs to be personal. Why is it in a Jew's personal best interest to marry a fellow Jew? Well, other than love and chemistry and all that, are there any other critical factors that should determine who you marry? Well, what if your partner said they didn't want to have children? Or they wanted to move to Madagascar and be among the wildlife for the rest of their life? Love is critical, but you know what else is critical? Sharing common goals. But having said all that, most people, Jews and non-Jews, do tend to share quite similar goals in life, especially if your religion is just some kind of cultural club that you're born with. Differences like chicken soup or gazpacho soup aren't going to really threaten a marriage. So then the question becomes, is there anything so valuable about Judaism that you should rule out marrying 99% of the global population, something that would be so important to the kind of goals you have in life? Well, the question then becomes, what does it mean to be a Jew? What is the mission statement of the Jewish people? Is there any evidence that this might be true? Once you have that clarity, you can then make an informed choice about whether the Jewish people's mission is something you wish to be associated with or abandon. All I'm saying is, don't make the choice in ignorance. And while it's true that the commitment of our ancestors certainly is not a strong enough reason to live as a Jew, having said all that, our ancestors' commitment does suggest that they were committed to something so powerful, so meaningful, so sustaining, that they were prepared to endure the anguish of anti-Semitism, while yet feeling deeply satisfied inside. You can't understand that commitment and its rewards without first studying the meaning of Judaism and the Jewish people's mission. Look online, speak to communal leaders, watch JTV. A book I strongly recommend is Why Be Jewish by Doron Kornbluth. That's a great start. It's surely worth appraising the treasure that you own before giving it away forever, a treasure that has been caringly passed down over generations to you. So to anyone considering intermarriage, learn what it means to be a Jew first, and then decide. I'm Ollie Anisfeld, and you're watching JTV.
To stay up to date with the latest JTV content, if you're on YouTube, click subscribe below the video and the alarm bell. And if you're on Facebook, click the like button, and under following, click see first.